Welcome. We'll have a discussion about the I-League 2024-25, which has been off and running, and a lot has been happening in Indian football, especially in the I-League. And talking about the league, the best person with us to talk about it, we have Alvito D Cunha, the former Indian international. Alvito, before getting into the discussions, I would like to hear from you. How have you felt about the league and the way it's been progressing so far?
Interesting. Just if we talk about one thing, this league, we always say it's very interesting. The reason why I say this, you never know which team is going to be with which team. We have seen the table toppers struggling against the bottom place teams. The bottom place team, after the break, they've been doing quite well. So this is what is interesting about this I-League. And that's the reason why you can't really predict who is going to win the league. And as we've seen a lot of results happening, going here and there. So I think that's the best part of it.
Yeah, and talking about the results going this way and that way, we've seen a lot of twists and turns in the table. Shillong Lajong were at the bottom half. They've come up to the 5th position. They can move to the 2nd with a win. Delhi FC, they again are at the bottom. They can move to the mid-table. Everything is happening. So at this stage of the league, very rarely we have seen such a tight league table. 8 rounds in. What do you think is going to happen next?
It's really difficult to predict what's going to happen next, because we have seen the way Churchill brothers, they started the league playing 5 away matches, then playing against Dempo at home, and then suddenly there was a slip against I think it was against Namdari when they lost at home. So it was an unexpected result. But then Dempo, last 3 matches they've been losing, but then this is what I-League is all about. Delhi FC, they were doing quite well. Then again, they lost 1, they drew 1. But then the most important thing about this league is, which we really expected a very good result from these 2 teams, Gokulam and Srinidhi Deccan. They have been really consistent after the break. But this break, as I said before also in my before shows that we had, this league is interesting because maybe these clubs, they could not, get too many days to practice together. The coach might have come late, the players might have got in late, maybe some foreign players, they have signed a late contract. So basically this break has helped some clubs, especially clubs like Namdari, Srinidhi Deccan and Gokulam Kera, because if you see them, they are looking a strong side right now.
They are, and we've seen a lot of inductions coming in after the winter break, a few transfers coming in. Rajasthan United have looked strong, but you talked about Srinidhi not doing well. They have scripted a beautiful comeback after the winter break, not just in terms of the climb in the league table, but they went to Aizawl playing a tough away match where they were down by 3 goals in 65 minutes and they won the match 4-3. So you never know what's going to happen next year.
See, this is what I said. This is why I-League is very interesting. You never can stay safe even with scoring 3 goals. And the same situations maybe happens in any other leagues. Then you know this game is already done. So, but then against Aizawl, and that too in Aizawl, it's not so easy. And Aizawl, especially having all the Indian players around them. So maybe they felt that we are in the second half, 65 minutes gone, 3-0 up. So we have almost 3 points in our pocket. But that's what it is. If the opponents get 1 goal and then suddenly they score another, and that is what exactly Srinidhi did. They came with a 4-win margin win, which I think is one of the best matches that we have all watched. But then this is what the league is all about. And Srinidhi, as I told you, initially the first few matches they've struggled. The foreigners were not coping up well with the Indian players, but suddenly they are looking a strong side now.
They are looking a strong side, and talking about strong sides, many people are waiting to hear about Kashi. I'm very sure we'll get to Kashi, but before that, what that match has done to Aizawl is a hamper to their confidence. They were looking very strong. They at home with all Indian 11, they were playing very well. They lost the match, but after that conceded 6 against Churchill brothers.
Yeah, but this is what I said. Like, football is all about, sometimes if you don't get that confidence, because they were up by 3 goals at home, losing to Srinidhi, not a very good side. They've not started off the league so well, but then suddenly you sleep, you concede those 4 goals, the confidence really goes down. And especially when you're in Aizawl, you know how the climate is. It's too cold, and maybe when they went to Goa, the climate was absolutely different. And Churchill, as we know, though they lost to Namdari, they wanted to make a comeback on a winning ways. And that's how they have done it. I mean, Like, Gutierrez, they are one of the best players for this team. And not only for the team, but I think overall in the league, they are one of the best players. And Like, we know, he can't really stop scoring. The only match that he have failed to score was against Namdari, where they lost 1-0 at home. But he's been in tremendous form, and this is going to be the key factor for Churchill Brothers.
Well, he is the top scorer of the league, Wedlike, right now with 7 goals to his name. But you mentioned Namdhari. A sudden change in Namdhari's approach and the way they have worked. They are in the top half of the league table, almost approaching that top position, and they have beaten Inter Kashi in their last match, and that too in a 2-0 victory, where they have also maintained a clean sheet.
Inter Kashi, they had a very good chance to top the table if they were to even get a draw against Namdhari. But the Namdhari, again, at home, they're always a very dangerous side. Maybe this year, the results have not really been good. Sometimes they won, sometimes they drew, and some matches they even lost. And especially the first match, I think they lost to Dempo. But then, as I said, sometimes, it's all about how the team, the formation, what they play. Maybe Inter Kashi winning the previous match, they took Namdhari quite lightly, and maybe the whole thing changed, because I could see a lot of changes in Inter Kashi's squad. Habas maybe trying to get in some new players, or maybe the suspensions, or maybe some injuries have come in, and that was the reason why they failed as a team. And Namdhari, but then we need to also give credit to them, the way the football they've been displaying.
I was just going to come to that point. Is Inter Kashi and Habas just fading away right now? Because they were looking very, very strong. Is Habas' tactics being read by opponents? Suddenly a loss. The changes you mentioned, he substituted Johnny Kauko at the 45th minute. Might be tactical, might be injury issues, as you mentioned. But what exactly is happening? Suddenly the changes.
See, as we all know, Habas is a defense-oriented coach. So maybe sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But maybe in I-League, so all you need is a fast-flowing football. And that's the reason why we love watching the I-League. If you see any teams, you can't really take them lightly. You see Edmund has started with so many matches with Inter Kashi, and then suddenly you see Vidyasagar coming in as a replacement. But then we all know Vidyasagar has played for one of the best clubs like East Bengal, Kerala Blasters. But then the problem with this boy is he can play in multiple positions as a striker, as a winger. But the most important thing, what he fails to do is missing so many chances, and sometimes that doesn't allow you to get your confidence, and not only to himself but also for the team. And that is what exactly is lacking in Inter Kashi. He got a lot of chances, he came close to scoring, but then he could not convert those chances.
And one question that leads to is that the way Antonio Lopez Habas plays, we all know he prefers a back 5 or sometimes a back 3, whatever you like to call it. But do they lack players in those positions, the wing-back players? Because Edmund is more of a winger. They have other wingers in the squad as well. Karthik Panikkar trying to fit in, Narayan Das, all of them either fullbacks or wingers. Is that a problem?
Yeah, see, of course that's a problem, because Edmund, we all know, he's an attack-minded player. Narayan Das, I think he has crossed his prime age, so that could be also a factor. But then sometimes when you have the squad, you need to deal with them. So no matter whether they've crossed their prime age, whether somebody like Edmund who's more of an attacking, the strength, the depth, what you have, you need to adjust to it. But very soon we might also see some changes, as we are in the January transfer window. The club might also be interested in signing some of the players, and they can still become a strong squad. They can still manage to get the league in their favor.
Of course, I'll not take much time from you, but a few more questions just because of the situation and the way the things are happening in the I-League. Real Kashmir, they conceded probably one of the fastest red cards in Indian football. 12 seconds into the game, Boba Minu was sent off. That was some drama there in Kashmir, and everyone thought Srinath will take the game away. They scored once, and that was cancelled out by Real Kashmir. They scored against Srinath. It was 2-1, and Real Kashmir again equalized with 10 men scoring 2 goals. How strong are they looking at home? And talking about the home fixtures, Real Kashmir are one of the strongest as usual.
See, we have always noticed this when it comes to Real Kashmir playing in Jammu. It's not going to be an easy task, because the weather conditions are different. It's a high altitude. So, the teams that travel there, they really find it difficult to manage to get a win from Real Kashmir. They've always been a difficult, team to beat. But then, as you said, Srinath Deccan with an advantage of 1 man, twice taking the lead but not getting a win. So, but then, Real Kashmir, I think at home they're always a dangerous side. You may see them losing some of the matches against the low-placed teams, but then at home they're always a dangerous side.
Indeed. And before we move ahead into the next week of the league, what do you expect? What can we all expect in the coming week of the I-League? Do we have some more changes, some more teams coming up, or do we have Dempo fighting back?
See, Dempo has to fight back a team that has got promoted from the second division to the I-League this year. the most number of titles won by the team is Dempo FC against one of the most successful coach Armando Colasso. But then again, this league, as we said, there are teams like Srinidhi, Gokulam, Namdari, Inter Kashi, they're all fighting for this championship. But then, now this is the time where the league is going to get more interesting. Now it's the battle where the team has got the depth in them, the strength in them, especially the bench. This is what we say, the team that has got the bench strength has got more chances in winning the league, because there will be a lot of injury concerns, a lot of suspensions. So the ones who come in place of those players, they have to be the key players for the team. I think Churchill, Namdari, Inter Kashi, they have got good players for the first team, but a big question mark when it comes to the substitute team.
So a lot happening, and a lot can happen as well in the coming week. We'll end our discussion with that, but any players or any team you would pick to watch out for?
That's a very difficult one to answer, but then still, I think still, for me, I feel Churchill is going to be a difficult team. But then, having said so, I think the most organized team so far after the break has been Gokulam FC. So keep an eye on them.
Of course, keep an eye on them, and as we mentioned, a lot to discuss as well. We still cannot predict what's going to happen next in the I-League, so keep watching and stay tuned for more action in Indian football. Watch all the action live in match week 9 and 10 coming up in SSEN.